Welcome back to the Silent Hill commentary with me, Skully the Metalhead. Today we're going to be doing more filler because that's what everybody wanted to see from a Silent Hill playthrough. Filler with boring commentary. I put myself down a little bit too much. But in all seriousness, there really isn't much that's going to go on throughout all this part. It's really just going to be walking around aimlessly, probably getting scared if you were playing this game on your own, and I don't know, just generally boring filler. What do you want me to say? The only thing that I can really point out is just basic info, you know? Which we'll be getting to in just a second. There's a wheelchair in that grating if you couldn't notice. Well, then again, the light wasn't really shining on it that much. Excuse my mumbling. I'm just rambling a little bit. One significance in this rooftop is actually one of the places you can use the channeling stone, which many Silent Hill fans would know is the way you can achieve the UFO ending. This is one of 4 spots, I believe. It's either 4 or 5, because there's one at the school, one at the hospital, one inside the boat area, and one in the lighthouse, so I think it is 4, yes. Anyway, there's a key down that drain if you just saw, so the way we get it is we block the hole with the pink rubber ball. So, out of place in this hellish otherworld, and it's probably intentional, I'd gather. So we just turn the valve, and the water will wash the key down the drain. Of course, the key doesn't go into the sewers, because if that happened, well, we'd be pretty much fucked then, wouldn't we? You know, Harry is awfully lucky in this town. Especially so considering the fact that he survived getting any broken bones from the car crash. A plot hole which I'm still hung up about. My screen's fucking up again, excuse me for just a second. Okay, nope, still fucking up. Ugh. There we go, things should be a-okay right now. Yes, Harry, just collide with that wall. And there was also a seal of Metatron on that wall, if you could just see a little bit there. You know, the seal of Metatron actually turns out to be complete garbage if you've played Silent Hill 3. Which kind of makes Silent Hill 1's efforts like a bit laughable in comparison, but hey, you never know. It's a thought that counts, as I had mentioned earlier in a previous video. Time for some more Silent Hill trivia. Alessa Gillespie was afraid of dogs, which eventually led to the creation of the Groaners, otherwise known as the dog enemies that you would have fought outside the school and all throughout the streets of Silent Hill. I can somewhat relate to that, having a little bit of a fear of dogs myself. Don't ask me, I was a weird kid, as I mentioned in part 2, but I don't know, the dog enemies, to me I find them to be incredibly annoying in this game. Not so much scary, if only for the fact that, you know, you could easily avoid them just by continuously running, but at the same time, they just get really annoying because they can just, especially if you're doing melee combat, because they can just jump attack you, you're mid-swing, and then you just miss, you know, because of the poor programming and all, but Silent Hill combat is supposed to be intentionally bad because it emulates real life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most people don't have tank controls in real life and are far more maneuverable, unless of course they're a fat person, and that's just not me knocking fat people, man. I mean, I'm just saying, a lot of people are a lot more maneuverable than somebody with tank controls. But that's just my little bit of a ramble. Jesus. I'd also apologise if I'm not paying attention to anything that's going on screen, because there is really not much to commentate aside from the occasional, ooh, there's a monster, ooh, there's another empty room, ooh, there's a scary sound. And I know to a lot of people that's just me sucking the fear out of Silent Hill, which to some people they'd probably be appreciative if they get scared incredibly easily, but I don't know, I've played this game enough times to really just sort of numb the fear out of it. Then again, Silent Hill is one of the few survival horror games that still genuinely scare me, the only other game of which being Fatal Frame. Oh man, fuck. Damn, and now I can't get the title Luigi's Playboy Mansion out of my head. Of course, that's just an in-joke shared by a YouTube buddy of mine, and it's not even shared, I just stole it for the sake of filling the void of pointless commentary. Am I so original that I can fill pointless commentary with lame jokes? No, I am not. Yeah, and that's the situation in which, I don't know, the auto lock-on can fuck up, because that's another thing Silent Hill has, which would have been pretty annoying without it, is that Silent Hill has an auto-aim feature. I cannot remember if you can turn it off right now, because it's been a while since I've capture the footage. Excuse me, I just had to breathe there for a moment. God damn, man. What is wrong with me? Like, I can coagulate my thoughts so well in my head, and yet when I start speaking, it just ends up coming out as complete bullshit. I get incredibly sad, and I'm salivating a lot. What the hell's wrong with me? Yeah, peace out, kid. Well, to fill the void of commentary, I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on the Silent Hill movie, the one that came out in 2006. I thought the movie was decent. Like, I mean, from my perspective, it got so much right, yet at the same time it got so much wrong, and oh, here's a scene here. Now, I'll talk about the movie later, but I don't think I brought this up before, but if you go into the locker room in the, normal school, inside that locker you will find a cat that just jumps out. And, it eventually gets crushed by a monster, and that is its bloody corpse, and then, fuck! Man, that fucking jump scare every fucking time, like... You know, that's another thing I want to say, like, a lot of horror fans look down on jump scares as just being startling and not actually scary, but... You know, to me, jump scares can be used effectively, like, I mean, the point when they're overused, like in a lot of modern slasher flicks, you know, that's when it's not scary because they're overused and predictive. The best way to use a jump scare, in my opinion, is to do it when they least expect it. And I don't mean, you know, if you've had the appropriate build-up or just, you know, build it up over the course of the movie. Like, say, you know, you're heading over to the closet, you know the killer's in there, and you're going, ooh, what's gonna happen? The way to do it effectively is to open the closet, the killer isn't there, you close the door, continue on, with the fear of the fact that they're not there, then at a later point in the movie, they open the closet and then suddenly the killer's there. I mean, that's... I know the example I use probably doesn't sound scary through conversational means, but from a psychological horror standpoint, that's how jump scares would work, or at least be used effectively, because it's foreshadowing as to what's to come, you know? Or at least in a sense, though. I mean... Probably sounded a lot better in my head, actually, but it's just one of those things that not a lot of people tend to understand that much when it comes to jump scares. I mean, they can be used effectively, but the problem is, like, a lot of modern movies tend to overuse them to the point where they just aren't scary anymore. But of course, I think that's because a lot of audiences nowadays, especially in this day and age where a lot of things are left uncensored, is really because of the fact that, you know, we're desensitized to a lot of this shit. Because, I mean, like, I'm sure if a game like Silent Hill came out a little bit earlier than it did, like, say, maybe 95, it probably would have gotten a lot more praise than it has now. Well, then again, that being said, it was, like, one of the big innovative survival horror games of all time. Next to Resident Evil and Alone in the Dark, of course. Alone in the Dark being the lesser-known subject of the two, if only for the fact that, I don't know, I didn't really enjoy its gameplay that much. Excuse me. Fuck. And here we go into the classroom. Harry, you're about to get schooled. Monster Lurks. Now, this book will actually be quite... Oh no, wait, this isn't the book. But, this does actually, you know, sort of enhance the town's lore and, actually give a reason for the projection of the other world. Of course, the poltergeist in this case referring to Alyssa Gillespie spreading the nightmare all across the town, which, Silent Hill 2 would expand upon in, subsequently in Silent Hill 2, being the town's power that manifests itself across the mind of either the antagonist or the protagonist in James Sunderland's case. And this book right here is the one I was referring to before I just stumbled over my words like an idiot, which I fucking am. This would be the foreshadowing for the Splithead boss fight, which will be coming up in a little bit. Handgun bullets, yum yum. Now, that also provides a strategy on how to defeat it, which I'll get to when we get to the actual boss itself, but yeah. The creature that you'll be fighting will be based off that lizard, which, the lizard itself is actually based on, I think it was based on both the goanna and the, monitor lizard, both of which were, native to Australia, and, according to, little bit of research, like, beforehand, I believe it was called oh shit, man, I forgot its name, Malgarian, or something, I don't know. I'll probably post a link to the wiki article below, but It was based on an extinct lizard that lived around Australia, actually, which is pretty interesting. Goes to show how dedicated Team Silent are. But anyway, that's enough of my rambling. Fuck, I really suck at commentating. I just mumbled my way throughout an entire speech. I'm not even fit to commentate anymore. I would hit myself across the face if I didn't have a headset on to make a loud noise. And there are people outside my house. For fuck's sake. Anyway, ooh, health drink. Yum, yum, yum. If Konami ever decide to license some, like, Silent Hill merchandise, like, similar to how Resident Evil has, like, restaurants or some shit, if they ever made, like, a health drink tie-in, I would totally buy that shit, man. Like, seriously. It'd be, like, so fucking delicious, man. Seriously, like, I could taste it right now. Nope, not gonna sneeze. Damn it. God. More cockroaches. Are they even cockroaches? Oh, they're just bugs in this game, actually. Oh god, my kleptomania for that health drink is just buzzing right now. Yes, collect the health drink. Thank you. You've just eased my kleptomania. Time for some more Silent Hill trivia if I can think of some right now. Let's just have some trivia in general. Did you know that fire is hot? The sky is blue. Well, actually no, not from a technical standpoint, that's just... Fuck, I don't even know anymore. I've lost my train of thought. From now on, we're on the Ramble-mobile. Anyway, I believe we can now... Yep, we're heading into the final area of the school. Yes, we're heading to the penultimate area, I believe. And this is the front area in which the school entrance is. Not that you would know that from the unusual perspective here, but if you try and exit those doors, you will not be able to get out because... Oh no, Harry says, I still need to find Cheryl. Oh no, because he's a loving father, man. There is also a wheelchair there. What could it mean? I wonder what it could mean. Oh, that's enough of my 4-kid style acting. Yep. That leads to the courtyard. Oh no, wait, we were just checking the map. Silly me. And I'd also recommend for first-time players to save around here, because I'm not really sure if you'd be ready for the boss fight coming up. Then again, this one's fairly easy, but then again, I've played the game more times than I can count, so that's probably not saying much to a lot of people. Now, this is coming from the same person who has, like, a lot of trouble, beating a lot of Resident Evil bosses. Anyway, you just enter the boiler room and there your boss fight should be. Although I believe there's an ampule in here, actually. Ampules, of course, being the most powerful healing items in the game. Of course, I see them as, like, speed or something. What is it with horror games and drugs, man? I have no idea. It's probably... In fact, ampules are probably just, like, morphine or some shit. And... yes, you even need to check them out for the door that you're right next to, because that's how disorienting Silent Hill is, man. Okay, now I believe the trick to this valve puzzle, it's this one to the... Okay, I believe it's the one to the right, left, once. Oh no, wait, it's the one to the right. Silly me. Yeah, because I can never get this puzzle memorized, even though I know exactly what to do. It's like, to the left, like to the right, excuse me. To the left 3 times, I think, and then to the right once, maybe... Oh, Christ, I'm not too sure, man. Like, for me, it's usually guesswork in terms of getting this puzzle right. But, I believe the common consensus is that it's, left 3 times and, right once on the, right on the left valve and, left 3 times on the right valve. Anyway, that's all the time we have for this part, so, join us in part 6 for the Split Head boss fight. I'm Skully. Catch you later, kids.